Welcome to the Krebach Chronicles, Episode 4. Hey, some rentals. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, here we are doing a little bit of a contract, and you might be wondering how we are doing this, or what we are actually doing. Now, as you can see out the back there is a tiny plough. Now, what I ended up doing, as you may remember from last time, we had a look at various sort of items in the shop, see what they had, and we couldn't afford much in the way of a plough. However, we decided to take on this contract for, what's her name again? I forget. Oh, Francisca. Yes, we decided to take on that contract, and what we did was we actually rented a plough. It's a very small plough. It's about the same size as the one that she was offering for the contract, and were we able to use her equipment, of course. But we decided, as a sort of show of goodwill, that we'd actually rent a plough, so that we could go ahead and do the contract. And it's progressing quite nicely. We've been at it a while, and we are almost done now, hopefully. So yeah, we're going to continue going back and forth, up and down here, just trying to push out the dirt and get everything turned over here, and see where we are at. And we have also completed the previous contract for Max, the cultivating one. I think we may have started that last episode, but yeah, there we go, just plodding along there, chopping up, I think this was an old cornfield, possibly, by the look of it. But yeah, this is going quite nicely. And we have done a little bit of tidying up around our yard as well. Not a great deal, there's still quite a lot to be done there, but the little area around the sheep and that sort of bottom end of the farm, I guess you could call it, we decided to use that little mower that we'd picked up, the little ride-on one, and we've got sort of most of that portion just sort of tidied up a bit, and we ended up with roughly 10,000 litres of grass, which is interesting, and I wasn't expecting to get quite that much. Well, actually it was probably more than that, because I seem to remember we put about 4,000 litres straight into the sheep, and we then put another 10,000 odd litres into the bunker silo that we've got down there. So they're basically, I've decided that, you know, we've got these two bunker silos on the farm, and as part of our sort of general tidying up process, it's not going to hurt us to actually sort of save the grass and use it. So we got some in the sheep pen to keep them happy. I think we've got a little bit in the mower at the moment, just in case they need some later on, and we put the rest of it in one of the bunker silos. So at some point, depending on how much more we get, we'll hopefully be covering that up and compacting it. And, we may have to look at getting like a little silage pusher or something, or chaff pusher leveler thingy, just so we can make sure it's all sorted out in there properly, because it was starting to spill out over the end a bit, and I'm going the wrong way again. Let's go down this way. Yeah, sadly this is a non-turning plough, so we have to go in a certain way to sort of push the dirt out to the edge of the fields, so that you either end up with a clump in the middle, or not a clump, but like a sort of a mound in the middle, where you sort of start at either side, or you get sort of a mound on the outside edge each time. So we were going with the outside edge mostly for this. So it is going along quite nicely. I haven't seen if we've completed it. Oh, we are very close to. So we've got a couple of rows to finish here, and then we should be good. Oh, in fact, she says we've completed it now, which is lovely. Let's see how much more we got down here. Oh yeah, we'll just we'll run down the middle of this quick, and come back once, and then we'll head back down to the store, cash everything in and return the plough as well, so it can be leased. Then we can end the lease and hopefully not get too much in the way of extra charges on it, because we don't want to. I mean, it was dirt cheap to lease. If I'm completely honest, it costs like 40 euros to lease it, something like that. So I decided, that was one of the reasons that we did it in the end, because for the sake of 40 euros and a little bit of work put in, just pootling around this field, it was a good deal, I think, because that then sort of shows Francesca that we are people of our word, sort of thing, and we are looking to not exactly make a name for ourselves in the area, but sort of make ourselves known a little bit, get to know the people, and sort of show them that we're not afraid of a little bit of hard work. So that's good. So hopefully next time there's contracts going, if she's got anything good, we might be able to pick up on some of that. So just push this tree out of the way, branch to the face. And we get down here to the end, and then head back over to the shop where we can drop this thing off. And then we'll go back to the farm, and I'll show you how we've been going with everything there. Okay, we shall disconnect that, and just run around here, and we'll return that. Lovely. That has been returned. Excellent. Hop in our tractor again. Just drive out of the way here. And as you can see there, that's the tractor that we used for Max's contract. So, where are we now? Yep, field 17, that was Max, the cultivating job. So we shall cash that in. And that was the one we just completed there, the ploughing one. So we got an extra £2,000 from that. Oh, that's looking lovely. Now, as much as I'm tempted to start looking at the shop to spend some money, I don't think that's going to be a good idea at the moment, because we will get hit with some maintenance costs for everything at the farm as we progress into November. But yes, let's head back to the farm quick and see what we've got going on here. Okay, so let's pop this in here for now. Turn the lights off, stop the engine, and let's go have a look. So yeah, we mowed all around down here and up on this side here. As you can see, it's looking a bit better. Now it is patchy in places. This is where some of the sort of weeds and wildflowers and things were. So what we're planning on doing is letting it regrow, see where the patches are, and figure out what we want to do in terms of maybe just throwing a little bit of grass seed down here, just to sort of fill in the gaps, as it were, possibly dig up some of these bushes, or even put some more bushes down. It depends on how it looks. And we have found a couple of pieces of wood. Now this is too heavy for us to move, unfortunately, but yeah, it's a little chunk of wood that we might be able to take and sell at some point, and that's not the only one that we've got either. Now if I have a squeeze through here past the old sheep, this is the other end of that sort of area. This was our little circle around here. So yeah, we got this all mowed up as well, and similar story, there's the little sort of bald patches where the weeds and sort of wild grasses and stuff were that didn't get trimmed down quite so easily as regular grass. But yeah, it's not looking too bad. Certainly not compared to how it was with all the sort of overgrowth and everything. And like I say, oh yeah, here's another piece of wood. There's a few more of these floating around the area that I saw. So at some point we might invest in some sort of pulling thing or lifting crane or something that we can attach, and maybe get our trailer working, just so we can like pop them on a flatbed or something. We'll have to see. But yeah, I mean it's turned out pretty good, I think. Like I say, we'll let it grow and then see what we're going to do about finishing up the landscaping. Maybe we'll put like a little sort of decorative furniture or sort of outdoor furniture down here or something. A little picnic table or a gazebo or who knows. But yeah, we've got some happy sheep there. Hello, sheep. But I think for now we are going to have a bit of a snooze, and we'll come back again in November and see how things are looking. See how much money we've lost from that 4,400, and see where we're sitting with the sort of grass growth and the contracts, and see what we can do next to earn a little bit of money. So I shall see you again in the morning. Good morning again, everyone. So here we are in November, and as we can see, the grass has grown just a little bit, and these areas that we cleared out the other month are looking very nice. Let's just hop over the fence here. Yeah, there's still a few sort of slightly bald patches here and there. Some of these bushes we may look at getting rid of in the near future, but so far this is looking really nice. Yeah, there's that bit of wood there that we are going to have to deal with at some point. And if we come around to the other side over here, we can see also, yeah, this area is looking very nice now. Yeah, now that the grass has grown just a little bit, it doesn't look quite so sort of bald and spotty. Again, there's still a few little patches here and there, and another bit of wood there we need to get rid of, but this is starting to look really, really nice. I'm liking this a lot. And again, sort of in this area, we may get rid of some of these bushes and maybe look at decorating a little bit, but we'll worry about that another day. So for now, what we are going to do is get the tractor. Yes, because we've got some interesting things planned for today. Now, obviously, we need to make money. That is clear. As you can see in the top right corner there, we're down to 1,800 again. And that is because of the fairly high cost of living, or sort of cost of maintenance on all these buildings that we own. So yeah, we are going to need to get a bit of money. But I have a plan. Now, I was thinking about this last night and looking at some options and things to do. So let's have a look at the contracts here, because we have a lot of baling contracts at the moment. And 3 of them, this one for Sandro, this one for Nils, and this one for Hansoli, or however you pronounce that. They are all fields, in fact all of these are fields, pretty much right around our farm area here. Presumably they were sold off by the previous owner at some point. But yeah, and they are all hay bale contracts. So what we are going to do is, if I get this thing started here, we are going to take a run down to the shop here and rent a few bits of equipment and actually go and do those. Now, obviously these are sort of people in the area that we don't know. We've not done any work for them ourselves before, so what we're going to have to do is I decided that as a sort of gesture of goodwill and whatnot, that we'd actually go and sort of rent some equipment and have a bash at these contracts for them, and sort of essentially using our own equipment, I suppose you could say. Now we'll leave that open because we'll be right back. But yeah, so if we sort of make the effort to do that, then in the future they may have equipment that we can borrow. So I shall see you down at the shop in a minute once we've got everything rented that we are going to need. Alright, well, we are down at the shop now. We've got everything sorted out. It turned out we had to contact the local bank and get a small loan of 5,000 euros just in order to get everything rented that we needed. Sort of a financing agreement, and once we're finished we are going to pay that all back. However, this is what we've got. Let's turn around and have a look. Now, we have here, as you can see, this little old bale trailer they had. So that's going to be quite handy. We can throw some bales on there. And we got an interesting tedder, an LO TR300. Now the reason we got this one was because if we stand on it and walk around the back, it looks like it's going to sort of re-swath it. So it's going to TED it and keep it fairly contained. And we've got this Pertinger Novadisc 350, which comes with a swathing plate on it as well. So that should sort of contain all the grass in a swath. Then we can hit the swath with this, TED it, turn it into another swath, and then bale it with this handy little Massey Ferguson, the old 1840. And that should then pop out hay bales. So we are going to grab the tractor and pick up the mower and head back to the farm and see about getting started. Now, as it turns out, there are some more contracts available. Well, specifically one, and that is, grab the mower, there we go. Let's raise it all up. Fold it perhaps. There we go. Is that actually raised? I wonder. No, that is raised, yeah. Fold. Okay, fair enough. Oh, we can even turn the tip of it up as well. Lovely. Okay. Oh yes, so let's have a look at the contracts. Now we've accepted this one for Nils in field 23, and this one for Hans Solly in field 25. Now he's also got one in field 21, which is looking quite tasty, so we may get that one from him as well. And then also there's this one for Sandro, which we will be hopefully getting if there's time. The other two here are silage bale ones, and we don't have a wrapper for this small baler, and since we couldn't afford anything besides that small baler, figured we'd go for the haymaking contracts instead. Okay, so in order to get to this field, I think it's up here. And if this is the one I'm thinking it is, there's like two different entrances anyway, so we should be fine. Oh yeah, here's one. Okay. Yeah, and these look like they must have belonged to this farm at some point, just given where they are in sort of reference to the farm. So yeah, what we're going to do is lower the mower and make sure this. I don't know if we can actually change the work mode on it. No, it doesn't look like we can, and that's okay. So yeah, we are going to start mowing this field. Oh, no. That is all the way down. Lovely. Yeah, as you can see, that is putting it into a nice handy swath already. So that is marvellous. Oh yeah, there's the second entrance into the field. So that is fantastic. So yeah, we are going to cut as much of this as we can. It'll get a bit dark around this side. And hopefully we may even have some bales left after this that we can sell. Because, let's see if we can... Oh, don't have access to the land, okay. Let's raise that up. Yeah, last thing we want to do is start mowing someone else's field, and I can't see for the trees. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yeah, so this looks like it's not going to be too long of a job, which is good. But yeah, I'm hoping that we will have some bales left over, which we can either sell or maybe put into one of our processors. I think what we've got right now is pig food and TMR. I don't think the pig food takes it, but the TMR machine might do. In which case we could potentially put it in there and see what happens. The other option would be just to sell them either straight away or store them until such time as we can get a really good price for them. Either option is good with me. So yeah, if I can get around here, and yeah, like I say, we've leased all this equipment, so oh crumbs. Reverse. Okay. How about now? There we go. Didn't want to reverse with the PTO running there as we got sort of stuck on the hill. Okay, let's see. I made a right pig's ear at that, didn't I? Let's back it up again. Lovely. Smashing. Okay. So yeah, it looks like this little field isn't going to take too long at all. Get that little bit done there. Crash into the fence. Not a problem. Yeah, it might just be struggling. I think the PTO might be a little bit low on this this tractor for this particular type of mower, but it seems to be working, so we're not going to argue with it too much. However, we are going to reverse and just sort that little bit of grass out there that we missed. Okay, let's raise that and head back into the other part of the field. Lovely. Okay, now obviously we are going to be getting these bits of equipment back in sort of stages, so what we'll probably do is put this down by the next field that we're going to do, and that way we can save a bit of time, because the only one that's really going to have to travel anywhere is going to be the trailer. The rest of it can just sort of pootle around this this area, because all the fields are around the farm, so that's jolly handy for us. Oh, lovely. Yeah, this is looking to be quite good indeed. Okay, well, I shall get the rest of this cut, and we'll get the other bits and pieces brought up and carry on, and we'll come back maybe once we're on the next stage of this, which is probably going to be tedding, I would say. Alright, we are just coming back up with the tedder now, and I had a quick look at some of the settings on the way in. If I pop up the little assistance menu there, we can see it's currently in selected work mode 0.5 meters, which I'm guessing is the swath that comes out the back, because if I change that, then it drops down, or it increases rather, and you can see those little flaps will extend. So we've got 3/4 of a meter, 1 meter, 1 1/4 meters, or a full 2 3/4 meters, and then back to ½ meter. Now I'm assuming that that is going to be the working width of it. So, or not the working width of it, the thing. What do you call it? The swath that it's going to leave behind. So what we are going to do is give it a try. If we turn it on, I do have access to this land. Not worker. Wrong button. Pressing all the wrong buttons. Let's see. Oh, look at that. If we zoom out a little bit, that's lovely, that is. That's made it into a beautiful little swath. Oh, that's perfect. And as you can see, just sort of in that corner there, we took the liberty of just doing our a little bit of our grass as well, so we can add it all to the coffers, as it were. Oh, this is brilliant. This is a fantastic little tedder. I am really impressed with this. Yeah, it was completely by chance that I found it in the store there. I wasn't aware it even existed, but they found it for us. Where am I going here? Yeah, did I miss some there? I may have, yeah. Let's turn it off, back it up a bit. Oops, and just see about driving into that tree. That's really going to be helpful, isn't it? But if I turn that on there, we can just make sure we got that. Yeah, that'll probably do. Okay, lovely. Well, if we can get out of the trees and see where we're going, yeah, this is looking quite good indeed. I'm very much liking the way this tedder's working. I had not expected that at all. That is going to make picking this up with a baler very, very easy. Very easy indeed. that is a lovely grass texture too. Fantastic. Okay, well, this is obviously running a little bit slower than the mower did previously, but that's not a problem. It's a nice day to be a nice sort of sunny November day, as it were. So yeah, it's going to be quite enjoyable driving around here doing this. I am very much looking forward to that. And we've got the mower set up. In fact, you can probably see it as we come around the corner here. Sort of straight, well, there's a tree in the way, but essentially straight ahead of us, down the side of the hill there is another field. Oh, you can kind of see it through the trees there. So yeah, let's get this thing back up on the road again, or on the grass again, as it were. Okay, and turn her on. And keep coming down here. Yeah, that's I'm just like really blown away by this. That is a fantastic fantastic tedder. Okay, just turn it off there for a second. And turn it back on here. Yeah, I really can't get over that. There's you know, of all the little tedding options, I mean, it's a little bit wide. I mean, it's only 3 meters, obviously, but or 2 3/4. But you know, it's a little. It doesn't fold up like the sort of traditional tedders, I suppose. But it is doing a lovely job of just flicking up that that grass and then reorganising it into a nice little swath there. So yeah, I can't complain about that. Even if this mower hadn't pre-swathed it for us anyway, I think this would still be a fantastic fantastic tedder option. Yeah, I am very much liking this. So yes, I shall carry on doing this now, and once we are done, we'll grab the baler, and I shall see you again in a little bit once we get to the baling. Righto then, we are back in the field. We've got the baler here, and we also brought the trailer up with us as well. Fortunately, that, as you might be able to see there, has a little trailer hitch on the back of it, and this baler actually connected to it, which was rather handy. So we brought both of those up together, and I need to unfold it before I can turn it on. Okay, let's start making us some hay bales. Okay, I do have access to the land, thank you very much. And these are going to be, what, 500 litre bales? I thought they could be more than that. I thought they could do up to like a 1,000 litre, or am I mistaken on that? Not a problem. We shall accept them as they are, and they will be plopping out the back there very shortly, and in quite good order. For some reason I thought they were like 1,000 litres, but well, not to worry. So yes, this is going to, I would say, fill up, but this is going to make some fairly sizable bales fairly quickly, and that's a good thing, because that means not sizable bales, but you know. Oh, did I miss some grass with the tedder there? That's unfortunate. Please don't fire the Weetabix off the edge. Okay, I need to back up a bit here. I missed a good old chunk of that. Oh crumbs, we are going all over the shop. Let's zoom in a bit and see if we can see a little bit better what we're doing. There we go. Okay, well, we missed a tiny bit, but that's okay. It's surprisingly hard to see what's going on in this sort of shady corner of the world. But, needless to say, the bales are coming out nicely. Watch out for the fence there, Mr. Feldon. It's not my fence yet. So yeah, we are getting quite a healthy number of bales. Now, obviously this is going to be a bit of work picking them up and popping them in the old trailer there, but you know, we will do what we need to do to get these contracts done. And you know, this is not going to be too big of a deal, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of bales, but that's okay. We shall survive, as they say. Let's see if we can get this bit again. There we go. Okay, it is going to let us do that. Lovely. I did sort of blend a couple of little swaths here together because, not because I could. That how was it? That little tedding unit, that was remarkable. You know, if you had some swaths of what is it, like hay or whatever close together, then it would actually merge them, which is really cool. So it was part telehandler, part tedder, part windrower. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. Yeah, we have got lots of bales coming out now. We may even have to take a bit of a break and start loading some of them up so we don't lose them in the grass. Well, I mean, you know, we shouldn't lose them. They're little tiny Weetabixes of joy, or shredded wheats, or whatever breakfast cereal they look like to you. So yeah, oh, this is awesome. This is, and this should tide us over for another month easily. And since we've got 2 of these contracts at the moment, and there are a couple more on the contract board already, I should have totally picked that up and moved it, but no, I'm not that smart. I'll run over it with the I suppose it's not my baler, is it? I'm leasing it from the shop, so what they don't know won't hurt them, so to speak. So yes. Oh yeah, these are all coming off nicely. I dread to think how many bales we've already made. That was a little bit of stuff there we missed, but we'll catch that on the way back, because there is still a little bit down there to do. But yeah, these are flying out like nobody's business. But yes, so I shall continue on with this, and then we'll come back in probably around the time we are loading stuff onto the trailer, or maybe even heading to wherever we're selling these. Hopefully it's not too far away, but you know, just in case we have to do 2 loads for some reason. But I'm kind of thinking we should be okay with just the one. It all depends on how much I can pile onto the trailer safely. Oh dear. Got bales going everywhere. Hang on, let me get that one out of the pickup. There we go. Now, at least we can pick them up by hand, so that's a good thing. Oh, there's a little bit of missed hay there. Let's back it up and get that. Oh, and of course I didn't get either little piece of it today. Well, that's lovely. But yes, I shall carry on collecting up all the little bits of hay, and we'll get the trailer loaded up, and we'll head to wherever we are selling this. So I shall see you again in a bit. Hopefully not too long. Hello again everyone. Yes, as you can see, our loading trailer, bale trailer wagon thing is quite nicely full of bales. We've finished all the baling, and we have got most of them loaded onto here now. There's quite a few. I'm not going to lie, it's taken a wee bit of time to get done, but it's actually been kind of fun. I don't think I've done these small bales before, but you know, we work with what we've got here, and we don't have a lot of money or equipment at the moment, so having a little baler, even rented, so we can just, you know, manhandle the bales, so as it were. We can at least get them on there. We don't need the extra equipment, but yeah, we've done fairly well out of this so far. Quite a lot of bales indeed, and we've cleared out everything down that end already. Come back around here into the sun again, and we're just getting these last few. I don't think there's anything else over this end. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, yeah, there's two over here. Possibly. Ah, yes, there's a third one in the shade there. This was our one solitary bale from the the grass that we'd cut that was our own. Okay, let's fling this up on the top here. Don't need to be too careful with these last few now. Yeah, lovely stuff. Now, this contract, it turns out we don't have to go as far to deliver as I was previously worrying. Apparently, this is going to the farm food mixer, which just happens to be the production that we own. It's the farm food mixer, the TMR machine, on this farm, on our farm, I should say. Okay, looks like we are all good. Let's get these strapped down. But yeah, so we just need to go to the farm food mixer, which is literally just down the path back in our main yard. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. So let's hop in here and drive back down to it and see about putting some of these in. Now, I've no idea how many of these it's going to take, because usually for like a field this size you'd probably get 2 or 3 big bales, I would guess, and you'd have to put probably most of those in to get it to trigger. But we've got a bunch of little bales, little diddy baby bales on there. And it says there's 33,600 litres. And I think these are 600 litres a piece, maybe? 500 or 600? Something like that. Oh, there would have to be 600, wouldn't they? Because 6 of them would be 3,600. And then another... Oh, God, it's not 50, is it? Yeah, I suppose it is another 50 of them. Have I picked up, like, 56 little tiny bales? Huh, that's not bad. I quite like that. Seems strange, but, you know, not so bad. So yeah, let's get stuck on the fence there, on the gate, because, you know, that's important to do when you're driving a... stop already. When you're driving a trailer, a rented trailer at that. But I'm actually quite liking this. We might have to, once we've got the money, actually invest in something like this, because it's... okay, let's turn that off. I think this is the food mixer. Yep, there we go. Farm food mixer. Now, we'll open the other side as well, just in case we have to drive through. And, oh yeah, we got this this area we are going to need to tidy up at some point as well. And, yeah, I think it goes all the way back around the side here. And, oh, hello, there's another bit of wood as well. So that's something we'll have to... oh, we can pick that one up even. There's something we'll have to look at in the not too distant future, is just tidying up around here again like we did around the other side. And yeah, but let's can I climb up on here? Oh yes. Oh, almost at it. I know I can get up here because I've got up here before. Yeah, well, never mind, we'll just... Oh, we got 2 bales here. Well, let's take these 2 off the top then. And we'll go and plonk them in here and see what happens. Oh, okay. 16% transported from just 2 bales. Okay, can that... No, still can't get up there. Okay, let's take this one off. And you're going to let me... Oh, crikey, wrong button. 24% transported. Okay. Yeah, it's not letting me throw them for some reason. But it is letting me get in the vehicle, that's lovely. Here's these controls going all strange again. Okay, let's see if we can get these 2 off. Oh no, okay, we'll just take that one then. Put that in. Okay, what I'm going to try and do is take these two off carefully and take them in. Lovely. 57% transported, 65 completed. That is good. Now if I check this, it's not... yeah, it says I can throw... Oh, now I can throw them. Okay. So if I pick that up... Oh, now it will let me throw them. Okay. Not sure why it wasn't doing that before. 73. Have another one. I'm probably only going to need 2 or 3 more. Ah, now it's stopped doing it again. Oh, maybe it's because I was getting a bit too close to it or something. No, not sure. Oh, one more little baby bale. That's magnificent. Now let's take this one off the front. And plonk it in. Contract complete. Oh, that's handy. Okay, let's have a look here. See about strapping this lot down again. So we've got, wow, 25,800 litres left. Well, that's impressive. Well, I guess let's close the door again. Is there anything in here, I wonder? There's the... I also wonder if we can get the stuff out of it. Doesn't seem like there's a panel for using it in here. Very strange. Okay, let's not worry about that. It's a bit loud in there. And we can look at the production chain through here, I think. This one. Oh, it says we've got 500 litres of hay in there. Okay. Ah, I wonder if it didn't actually use it, you know, whatever the contract was, actually went through and didn't take up any of the hay actually into the thing. Well, that's kind of good to know. Let's check out, actually, while we're here, the prices of hay, or the price of hay, because we don't have cows, so we don't necessarily need it. The horse breeding is buying it for 108. That's almost the top price, actually. Let's see. February would be the top price, and we are in November. Okay. We've got that contract completed at least, so let's go and cash that in. And oh yes, the other thing. Swaley, however you pronounce his name, he was quite impressed with our dedication to that contract by leasing the equipment that we did. So let's collect that. And what he has said is he's got this other baling contract. It's a bigger field, field 21. Let's have a look here. Field 21 is that one up there. Yeah, it's significantly bigger than the one we've got at the moment. So, or the one we just did rather, 25. Yeah, it's probably at least 2 to 3 times as big, I would say. But yeah, what he said was, since he, like I say, he was quite impressed with our sort of ingenuity, as it were. You know, we didn't have the equipment, but we got some financing and rented equipment to do a few of the different contracts here. In fact, we are going to pick that one up for Sandro as well, because that is a tedding contract, so we'll grab that one. Yes, basically what he said for Field 21, he's actually going to lend us some of his equipment, which is fantastic news. It's slightly bigger and better than the stuff we've got, so that's awesome. That is probably going to be down at the shop either now or in the near future. So we shall take a look at that. And we've got, let's see, 22 and 23 to do next. They are, oh yeah, they're right up around where we are. So what we are going to do is keep these bales on here for now. And we'll head up to field 23, which is where we left the equipment before. And, oh yeah, that little square patch just there we cleared out as well. Just back here, this was one that we'd tidied up before from the weeds and everything when we did that part around the front by the sheep. But yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked. It was a shiny thing. But yeah, so we're going to keep these bales on here for now. We'll do this contract over here for Nils, I think this one is. We'll get that done, get some bales loaded on the trailer, and head off to, is it up this way? Yes it is. And head over to, I think that was the horse breeding place. Oh yeah, you can see there's the mower and the baler and stuff, so we'll drop that off there. Let's just check, make sure we know who it is. Field 23, yes, that is Nils, and he wants it done to the horse breeding place, which is the one that's selling it for the most, or buying it for the most, I should say. So, yeah, I think probably what we'll do is, maybe we'll save a few, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll save a few of these bales. In fact, let me just reconnect and take them all off at once. Yeah, we'll save a few of these bales here. Take a few off the top, get them thrown onto the floor like that, because that's handy. Yeah, just sort of plonk them down on the floor there. Save them for later. We can either put them in the food mixer, maybe feed them to the sheep even. Yeah, that I think we're still going good with the grass from the. Yeah, I'll tidy them up later. Just throw them off over the other side. Oh, and I'll get in the vehicle. Okay, so grab that one, and you're not throwing it again now, are you? Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. There we go, throw that over there. So we've got, oh that's terrible, I can't leave it like this. I just can't. Yeah, so we got ourselves a few bales here now, which we can use for whatever we want to. Some of these I think we are going to definitely sell to the horse breeding place. Yeah, we'll see how much we get off of the field down here, and yeah, we'll continue on with these mowing contracts now. We'll get that one done for this one done first, and then maybe head up and do the other. Oh, got it flipped over the wrong way. Hang on. Let's pick it up from this side. There we go. That's better. Lovely. Well, maybe we'll take a few more off as well, just for the sheer fun of it, so we can have a nice sized little stack here. That's what, 9, 10. So 10 of these is 6,000 litres. Well, that clearly worked well, didn't it? If I'm doing my maths right, that's 6,000 litres. So that should be fine. Yeah, so let's disconnect this and carry on with the mowing. We may save a few more as well. Like I say, it depends on what we get from doing it over here on this field. And then we shall head over and continue on with the contracts. And I think most likely we'll see you next time now, because you don't really want to see me mowing everything, I'm sure. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you enjoy watching me go around a field with a really wide mower sticking out the end. Now, I'm not going to be too rude and clean up there. That's a little bit excessive, I think. But we will skirt around the edge of the pond here and trim a little bit of it off, just for some extra bales, I think. And can we get this part of the field? Oh, it is. Oh no, we've run out of land. Ah, there we go. Picked it up again. But yeah, we'll get as much as we can because the more we get, the more we can sell, and that is a glorious thing. But yes, it is just passing 2 o'clock now on the afternoon of the month of November, and we shall carry on into the afternoon and evening with this and see just exactly how much we can make, because obviously the what do you call it, fees, like the maintenance fees and building taxes and stuff are not cheap on this place, which is a bit of a surprise. I mean, it's not a surprise that there are payments to be made, but yeah, it's quite a surprise that it's as much as it is, I think. But with these contracts, I think we will be doing quite well for the money. We'll definitely have enough to go a few months, and hopefully even look at buying some more equipment, because we are going to need something to move those wooden logs with that we found floating around, and also something to pick up the tomatoes that we're growing. Gonna need something to pick them up, and also something to pick up the what is it now? The wool and the what are the things the chickens do? Eggs. I'm having the worst time remembering things today. Yes, the chicken pallets and the sheep pallets, we'll call it that. But yeah, so we've got a few small items to look out for. I kind of have a feeling we're going to be doing contracts for a while. If we can actually get up a bit of spare cash and look at potentially buying some of our own equipment rather than just leasing it like we're doing here, that would be helpful. Obviously we're going to need to buy some land at some point too, because we don't have any. Well, I mean, we've got the farm, but we don't have any actual farmland as such to work with. And some of these fields, like this one, I'm pretty sure... Did I miss a bit of grass there? No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe yeah, a tiny little bit, but I did miss a bit of grass there. Too busy nattering. But yeah, we got... we're going to be doing some contracts for a while. Yeah, some of the land, like this field particularly, or in fact all of these grass fields, they look like they may have been tied to the farm at some point, so we may look at picking them up again maybe in the near future. Still in 2 minds about actually taking out a full loan, because we could potentially get a loan from the bank, like a 50,000 or 100,000 or something, and actually buy some equipment and fields and everything. I'm kind of a little bit cautious of doing that, because we do obviously have the sort of maintenance payments and everything on the field, on the property that we own already. So having an extra loan on top of that could be a bit dicey. But I suppose we'll see how it goes. How bad could it really be? Yes. But yeah, on that note, I do hope you've enjoyed whatever this has been and is becoming. And yeah. If you haven't subscribed already, then please do. Comments are always welcomed, and if you'd like to share this video, that would be greatly appreciated. So I am going to carry on mowing and tedding with that lovely little hello tedder. Hello tedder! Yes, and hopefully we'll see you all next time as we continue on with the Krebach Chronicles. Cheerio, everyone.